What's up, guys? Milspec Moto here. Not Milspec Mojo. That is spelt with a J. Okay. Mine's with a T. All right. Okay. And what I'm going to talk to you guys today is about grip stippling. All right. What it is, what it does for you, how it benefits you, how to get it, and why. I mean, ultimately, just what stippling is. Not stipling, stippling. Stippling. Okay, so anyway, so for a long time, well, maybe not a long time, but for a short while, I have been a gunsmith at the shop I work at here in Hawaii. Okay, and I wanted to bring the ability to stipple everyone's firearms, and to do that it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of hand dexterity and stamina. Carpal tunnel. Okay, anyway, and so I had to learn how to do it, and to do that I used my own personal firearm, like this one here, which is my first Glock that I've ever owned, which has gone through 2 frames in total. The first one I did, I completely butchered, and of course, you know, this one here, I'm sorry, actually that's my 3rd grip. Yeah, I did 3 grips through this one Glock, which means I've had 3 firearms through this one. So, you know, trial and error, and again, I just wanted to be able to offer this to the public here in Hawaii. Okay, now stippling, all right, just to make it short, is basically the retexturing of an original firearms polymer. Okay, and again, like, I'm highlighting polymer here because you cannot do this to metal frame firearms. You can only do it to polymer firearms, and only given places where it doesn't lose structural rigidity and it doesn't compromise the overall function and fit of the firearm. Okay, so long story short, how it works is you take a standard Glock frame, and you basically, you take it, you sand it all down, you take down whatever you need to, you do your grip reductions, which is the size, or at least the circumference around it. In this case, this one has finger grooves, which most users will always remove it. Okay, so you smoothen everything out, and you take a soldering iron with a specified tip, and with that soldering iron, you basically melt into the polymer with a new texture. How aggressive that may be, that's up to you. Now, if you go with an aggressive grip texture, okay, that will mean that it will basically cut into your hand. So depending on what type of shooter you are, if you're clammy, if you're sweaty, and you know, guns tend to slip around in your hands a lot, you might want to go with something on the medium to aggressive side of texture. Okay, so my hands don't stay very sweaty. Okay, so my hands are dry, but they do get dirty. If you're out in the range, you're getting dirty all the time, you are getting sweaty a little, but essentially I don't need anything too aggressive. I just want something there to bite into the skin of my hand. That sounds painful. To grip into the skin of my hand. Okay, and anyway, aside from texture, it is aesthetics too. There's a lot of patterns out there that look good, but does it feel good and does it last? Okay, that's the other question. I won't get into that. It gets pretty deep into it. But the next thing, aside from texture, I wanted to talk about is the undercuts. Glocks from factory have terrible trigger guards and a terrible finger groove, which is this portion here, which gives usually gives shooters with a fresh Glock a thing called Glock knuckle. All right, that's the callus that forms within the crease of your middle finger as you get up into the grip of the gun and start firing. Okay, so I resize this, sand it down, make it a little larger to fit my middle finger, and of course do the double undercut, which is the second portion, which gives my support hand a place to actually sit on the trigger guard as I'm actually firing the gun. This overall brings my grip higher into the grip as well, so the bore axis where the gun reciprocates stays more in line with my forearm. So I'm able to manage recoil a little better. Okay. And the last thing, at least on this frame, that I want to talk about is the accelerator cuts here and on the opposite side of the firearm here. Okay. Whether you're a left-handed shooter or a right-handed shooter, this gives you a place to index your support hand thumb, so that way when the muzzle is rising, your thumb here can actually help drive the muzzle end down, or at least stabilize the shot so you can get back on target as the gun is flipping. Okay, this is nice. This is one of my favorite cuts here on a gun, especially the double undercut. I mean, I could make do with the OEM grip texture, but come on, that's sexy. You want the sexy. Okay, so anywho, that pretty much encompasses stippling. I mean, ideally, you want texture there so that your hand bites into it so you can hold it better. And as you're firing a gun, especially in this case, let's say USPSA shooting, competitive shooting, which demands a double tap, or at least in, 2 shots, right? So if you're shooting in fast succession, having this grip texture here will help give your hand all the benefit of just holding on to it as hard as you can without needing to grip too hard. All right, that's the point of the grip stipple. This is mine, and if you're in Hawaii, I hope that someday you would trust me to do your stippling. Shoots.